Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on New Zealand Sports Radio. Hi, I'm Paul and I'll be your host this morning. Hope you're all having a wonderful weekend here on Sunday, the 18th of April. In the news today, we'll be up to speed with the cricket in the IPL. We've got NRL games yesterday, as well as Super Rugby Aotearoa and Super Rugby AU games in the A-League. A couple of matches. NBA action, NBL action in the basketball, the V8 Supercars, as well as the golf in the PGA, the European PGA, and especially the LPGA, and also some snowboard action reports as well. So this is your best way to start the day, up to speed with all of the important sports news. And let's kick off with that golf. Over in the PGA, we have the RBC Heritage, where unfortunately Danny Lee missed the cut for the weekend's play. But Sink currently leads away 5 shots clear of chasing pack, whilst the in the third round is live at the moment. Over in the European Tour, it's the Australian Open, and at the end of the third round, Kramer and Canzares are sharing the lead there at 9 under par, just 1 shot clear of Kiefer. So tight at the top of the Australian Open with 1 more round to go. No key representatives, unfortunately, in that one. But the one that we are keeping our eye on, especially, is the LPGA in the Lottie Championship. Where Lydia Ko is is going great. She is leading after the third round. The fourth round is live now, but she's yet to tee off. She'll be teeing off at 11:15 a.m. today. There, she is at 21 under par, 1 shot clear of Korda, and then it's 3 shots further back is Sasso. So Lydia Ko goes off in a great position at the end of the third round, and hopefully she can see this one out and take the title. She's been showing some really good form this season, getting close, but not quite being able to land an actual title yet. So, say in great position this weekend at the Lottie Championship. Moving on to snowboarding action, and we had Zoe Sandilski-Sinnott moved from the big air and the slopestyle off into the natural selection tour finals in Alaska. So this is moving away from the sort of man-made obstacles to off-piste natural ones in this event here. And she transferred very well, winning her semi-final, making it into the 2 women final, up against the backcountry queen Robin van Gyn in that one. And unfortunately, Sandowski-Sinnott didn't quite make a clean run in the finals, and so she finished off with bronze in that one in second place. But fantastic for her, and showing her skills, being able to transition from the man-made to the natural obstacles in that one. And up there in Tordino mountain range of Alaska, her first time snowboarding in Alaska as well. Moving on then to the V8 Supercars, and Van Gisbergen has won his 6th race on the trot to start the season. He started on pole, but slipped back to third off the start. But he passed the other 2, got himself in front of about after 7 laps of the 44-lap race, and then held onto that lead comfortably as he drove to the win there, giving himself a good lead in that championship. 2 more races today in that one. We also got news about the New Zealand leg of the Supercars. It's going to be the 6th and 7th of November, which is the penultimate round of the tournament, and it will be in Pukeko this year, not at Hampton Downs. It looks like there's a possibility of having back-to-back races next season in 2022, one at Pukeko and one at Hampton Downs, which would be fantastic for New Zealand motorsport. Moving then over to the States and the basketball with the NBA. 11 games yesterday, so an absolute stacked round. Some of the key results there. So the Jazz beat the Pacers 119 to 111, and the Nets beat the Hornets 130 to 115. The 76ers also got a win over the Clippers 106 to 103 there. But the one game we're interested in is Steven Adams' team, the Pelicans, who are up against the Washington Wizards. And it was a very tight first half. Wizards taking a 1-point lead into halftime. The Pelicans took back the lead after the third quarter. And it was all evened up at full time and went into overtime, where the Washington Wizards edged it 12-10 to win the game, 117 to 115. The Wizards were led by Russell Westbrook with 36 points and 15 rebounds for his double-double. Bradley Beal also got 30 points as well. For the Pelicans, Steven Adams got himself 12 rebounds and 6 points. Marshall came off the bench for a double-double with 11 rebounds and 16 points. And Brandon Ingram led the scoring with 34 points there, but it wasn't enough to see the Pelicans get the win in that one. From a table point of view then, the 76ers lead the way in the Eastern Conference, had the Nets and the Bucks. Over on the Western side, the Jazz are leading the Suns and the Clippers there. Heading over to Australia for the NBL, and 2 games yesterday, with the 36ers beating the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix in a upset there. The 36ers down in 7th place on the table, beating the 3rd place South Phoenix there 90 to 81. And the Kings took out the Taipans as expected, 89 to 84 in that one. Today sees the Breakers back in action against the Wildcats, and that is at 7 p.m. this evening. Moving on to the A-League, and we had again 2 games yesterday. Western United beat Central Coast Mariners 1-0. So Mariners so long off the table, but that sees them slip back to second place as Western United making that bid for the finals place. They've just 2 points behind the outside the finals. But Melbourne Victory's poor season continued with a 7-0 loss to Melbourne City FC, as Melbourne City FC go back top of the table, 1 point clear of Central Coast Mariners there. Also with the game in hand. So Central Coast, so Melbourne City looking, aiming for that to hold on to that top spot. The Wellington Phoenix are in action today against Perth Glory. We've been saying this now for a while on the next newsletter. This is a must-win game if they're to keep in touch with the bottom of the finals places there to try and make it in, sneak into the finals. It's 9th versus 10th in this one, both on 18 points. Both the Phoenix and the Glory. So it should be a tight one there, but Wellington really needing to get the win. Moving on to the rugby then, and in Super Rugby Aotearoa, I was at the Chiefs versus the Crusaders, where the Chiefs sneaked it 26 to 25 in that one. A close game between the two sides there, requiring a late penalty by Damon McKenzie to sneak it. Richard Moore looked to be in the pocket, ready for a drop goal, but the Crusaders got turned over and gave away a penalty at the ruck, which meant that the Chiefs could see out the game. But a very close one there as the Crusaders registered their second loss of the season, and the Chiefs put 4 wins back to back. Got my post-match interviews with Razor, Clayton McMillan, and Brad Webber as well, and those will be going up this morning on the New Zealand Sports Radio Facebook page, so check those out. That was followed up by another 1-point game between the Western Force and the Waratahs. Waratahs really responding to having their head coach sacked, and Rob Penny, with 10 minutes to go, they led by 9 points, 21-30. But the Force came back with a converted try and a penalty on the buzzer, or after the buzzer, to win the game. A missed penalty on 77 minutes made it look like the Force had missed out on this one, but they just sneaked home 31-30 in that one there to keep their playoff hopes alive in that one. Currently, they sit in 3rd place with the Rebels in 4th, but the Rebels in action today at 4 p.m. It's the Rebels versus the Brumbies, so it should be a cracking game at 4 p.m. today in Super Rugby AU. Don't forget to join us at 8 p.m. tonight for a full review of all the Super Rugby action from this weekend. Over in the NRL, and 3 games yesterday, a massive upset as the Sea Eagles beat the Titans. But not only did they beat them, but they won 36-0 in this one. The Sea Eagles putting back-to-back wins together now after losing their opening 4 games of the season. So amazing result there. The Rabbitohs saw off West Tigers 18-14, and the Raiders lost at home to the Eels 35-10 in that one. The Warriors are in action today at 4 p.m. Again up against the Dragons, so don't miss that one. Over in the cricket, and it's IPL action again with the Mumbai Indians taking on Sunrisers Hyderabad. De Kock and Sharma set up the Indians well, scoring 40 and 32 both together at the top of the order. And then Kieran Pollard came in, scoring 35 off just 22 balls to close the innings out. He was 35 not out, and as they reached 150 for 5 there. The Sunrisers Hyderabad made a good start with David Warner and Johnny Bairstow both scoring well at the top of the innings. 36 for Warner and 43 for Bairstow. But unfortunately, the rest of the batsmen couldn't see them home for them, and they scored 100. They all bowled out for 137 with 2 balls remaining. Key bowlers, Trent Bolt's got 3 wickets for 28 runs as he wrapped up the innings, and Chandahar got 3 wickets for 19 runs off his 4 overs there, taking out some of the key batsmen further up the order. Bumrah also chipped in with a wicket, but just 14 runs off his 4 overs. So an all-round bowling effort from the Mumbai Indians. Kieran Pollard with that quick fire 35 off just 22 balls took player of the match in that one. You have now started the day the best way with all the important sports news. Hope you're having a cracking weekend, everybody. And so we'll be back at 8 p.m. this evening with the Super Rugby Review Show.